Does anyone really care that you're tired, sad, or frustrated? No one does. And that's not a bad thing. That's your opportunity. An opportunity to become the strongest version of yourself. Because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to force you to get back up. No one will make you succeed. It's all your choice. This is not a place for complaints. This is a place to fight. Welcome to Kunzy Podcast English, where stories of discipline, willpower, and resilience are told in English. Today we begin with a truth that is blunt and unforgiving. Nobody cares. Work harder. You're tired? Broken? Sitting in silence hoping someone will notice. Hoping someone will reach out and say the words you've been dying to hear. But the silence grows louder. No one comes. No one cares about what you're going through. No one's thinking about you at midnight. And that truth, the one that crushes many, is also the truth that can make you invincible. Because once you understand that nobody cares, you stop waiting. You stop complaining, you stop blaming, and you start moving. One small step, one early morning, one late night of studying, training, thinking, building. No pats on the back, no applause, just the quiet grind. Because no one owes you anything. And that is your freedom in life. You don't need sympathy. You need willpower, a reason to rise and build the life you deserve. Remember the kid inside you who once dreamed of being strong, fearless, confident? That kid is still waiting for you to show up. And no one else can do that for you. You are the hero you once hoped would come Heju. The world doesn't reward dreamers, it rewards doers. You can be smart and talented, but if you don't act, you'll just watch others live the life you wanted. Don't vanish in regret. Get up, train, learn, work. Not for anyone else, but for you. Work like nobody cares, because the truth is, they don't. Every time you feel exhausted, remember others are tired too. But they keep going, because they know no one is saving them. And if you don't fight for yourself, no one else will. That pain you're feeling, turn it into fuel. That loneliness, make it your fire. That silence, let it build the version of you the world can't ignore. You don't need 100 people to believe in you. You need one person, you, to believe it's possible. And once you're brave enough to not need applause, you finally start to live. No chasing, no performing, just purpose, discipline, commitment. And one day the same people who never noticed will ask, who is this person? Why are they so different? And you'll smile and calmly say, I'm the one who used silence as my engine, the one who didn't ask for pity, the one who didn't wait for rescue. I rescued myself, and now I'm here. Discipline is the real motivation. You wake up on a gray morning. You look out the window and think, I don't feel inspired today. It's fine, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow passes, then a week, then a month, and nothing changes. You're not lazy. You're just waiting for something uncertain. That something is motivation. Motivation is like the wind. It comes when you feel good and disappears when you're tired, lost, or overwhelmed. It's not reliable. It's not loyal. You cannot build a strong life on something that only shows up when it wants. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care if you're happy or sad. It doesn't need you to be ready. It only needs you to move. Discipline pulls you out of bed at 5 a.m. It stays with you through boring hours of study. It sits beside you when you want to quit, and it pushes you quietly every single day. You don't need to feel ready to begin. You just need to begin. Then, action will create motivation. That's the truth. Successful people understand. They don't wait for feelings. They train themselves to act no matter how they feel. That's why they win. Discipline is the most loyal soldier in your life. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it always shows up. If you learn to stay disciplined, you can work even when the world feels out of control. You won't depend on short bursts of motivation. You do it because you decided to. Successful people don't win because they feel inspired all the time. They win because they've trained their minds to move every day. They treat discipline like a muscle. They turn action into habit, habit into lifestyle, and lifestyle into legacy. So if you're waiting for motivation, stop. Don't let a random visitor decide your future. Be the one who moves no matter what. Because in the end, it's not your feelings that define you. It's your discipline. Let results make the noise. We live in a world where everyone rushes to announce a journey they haven't finished. You go to the gym once and take a mirror selfie. You read a few pages of a book and post a coffee shot. You do one good deed and instantly share it for validation. You talk too much. You celebrate too early. You crave applause before you've earned it. But real success doesn't need an announcement. It doesn't need a spotlight. It demands quiet effort, steady work, and relentless discipline. Silence is power. Silence doesn't mean you're doing nothing. It means you're too busy doing real work to stop and explain. You don't need to convince the world you're trying. Let your results do the talking. You don't have to explain your journey. You don't need photos or fancy quotes to prove your worth. Stay focused. Stay consistent. Results are the only voice you'll ever need. And when they speak, they're louder than any caption you could write. Truly successful people are rarely the loudest in the room. They are the quiet ones, the disciplined ones, the ones who don't need to be seen to exist. They let their actions echo, and that echo carries farther than any applause. So pause. Cut the noise. Turn silence into strategy. Turn silence into strength. And when you reappear, let others be shocked not by what you said, but by what you've silently accomplished. True success doesn't shout. It whispers. It walks beside quiet effort. Because the greatest warriors don't boast. They let the results speak. And when results speak, the world listens. Train so hard that even pain quits on you. You quit too early, you cry too soon. You give up just because it hurts a little, you're tired, or maybe you just don't feel inspired. But stop for a moment and ask yourself, do you think successful people never felt pain innate to us? Of course they did, and they endured more than you can imagine. The only difference is they never let pain control them. They turned it into a teammate, a catalyst, a name they call on every single day in the gym, at work, in every moment when quitting feels easier than going on. Pain is not your enemy. It's the uninvited guest that always shows up at the right time with the lessons you need to learn in order to grow. And if you're brave enough not to run from it, you'll realize pain isn't here to destroy you. It's here to forge you into someone unstoppable. There's one truth you need to remember. Pain doesn't last forever, but quitting can haunt you for life. So if you have to choose between short-term pain or lifelong regret, what will you choose? You need to train yourself to the point where every time pain shows up, it doesn't slow you down, but instead starts to fear you. You have to become the person pain gives up on. That's the level of discipline, commitment, and raw obsession you must reach if you truly want to break out of mediocrity and touch the summit where only warriors exist. There will be mornings you don't want to get up. There will be days when your body feels like lead and your mind is a storm. Everything in you will scream to take a break. But it's exactly in those moments when you choose to keep going that you're building the new version of yourself. One that is stronger, tougher, no longer afraid of pain, no longer running from difficulty. Every drop of sweat you leave on the gym floor, every heartbeat pounding as you push past your limits, every breath you take in the dark when no one's watching, that's when you're getting closer to the goal. Success doesn't come when you feel great. It comes when you want to stop but keep going anyway. Make pain your relentless coach, the one who forces you to push one more time, lift one more rep, stay up one more hour, read one more page. Let pain become the mirror that reflects who you are and asks one question every day. Are you still as weak as yesterday? You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to have a special background. You just need unbreakable discipline and an unshakable mindset. Because when you can train so hard that even pain quits on you, then nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you anymore. The world only respects outcomes, not intentions. You've tried so hard. You worked late nights, woke up early, skipped parties, gave up distractions, and told everyone that you're working on something big. But here's the harsh truth. No one cares about how hard you tried if you don't have results to show for it. Effort isn't recognized unless it comes with outcomes. No one remembers what you meant to do. They only remember what you actually did. This world runs on outcomes, not intentions. No one pays you for trying. No one feeds your family just because you said you gave it your best. Either you deliver or you disappear. Either you finish or you get forgotten. Too many people live in the illusion of effort. They convince themselves that trying is enough. They tell everyone about how hard the journey is, how tough the road has been. But success doesn't reward those who try. It rewards those who finish. You can sweat for months, but if you don't complete the job, you still fail. You can spend 10 years writing a book, but if you don't publish it, no one knows your name. You can dream all your life, but if you never act, it stays just a dream. The truth is, outcomes carry weight. It's the only thing that silences doubters, earns respect, and commands attention. No one argues with a result. That's why you have to move. Not to impress others, but because results are the only thing that makes a real difference. Look at your life. How many things have you said you would do but haven't even started? How many promises have you made to yourself but never kept? How many dreams have you written down but never pursued? The pain isn't in failing. The pain is in never starting. Don't live in the delusion that people will sympathize with you just because you're trying. The world doesn't care how good your intentions are, how much potential you have, or how hard your journey has been. It only cares about what you bring to the table. You might be talented, smart, and creative, but if you don't produce results, you'll be pushed aside. Outcomes are the only passport to get you a seat at the table. No one invites you in because you're nice or you're trying hard. They invite you because you bring something they can't ignore. That's called execution. Starting today, stop talking and start building. Stop making excuses and start producing. Stop telling the world what you plan to do and start showing them what you've done. Because the truth is, you can cry quietly in the dark after failure, but the world only listens when you have something to show. And once you do, you won't need to speak much. The world will fall silent. All your life, you've been waiting for something to push you forward. A motivational video, a mentor, a book, a quote that hits you deep. You live in this cycle of hoping someone will rescue you from your own procrastination and fatigue. You scroll through YouTube, you browse social media, You look for that one piece of music or message to light a fire inside you. But here's the truth. No one can wake you up except yourself. And if you depend on the outside world to spark your fire, you'll always be a shadow of someone else. You'll be an echo, not a voice. You must become the one who wakes yourself up every morning. You must be the first voice that speaks in your mind when the alarm rings, not the voice that complains or begs for 5 more minutes, but the voice that is cold, clear, and focused, telling you it's time to move. That voice doesn't comfort you. It doesn't say you can rest a little more. It reminds you that you have a mission, that you have work to do, that you are the leader of your own life. Discipline isn't just a habit. Discipline is a religion. It's a system. It's a personal mission. When you live with discipline, you don't need anyone to tell you what to do. You don't need to be pushed. You don't need to be cheered on. Because you understand that success isn't about a burst of motivation. Success is found in the boring repetition of necessary actions, even when you don't feel like it. Success is sticking to your schedule even when you're tired, even when you're rejected, even when you fail. You still show up because you are the voice, not the echo. Think back to how many times you waited for something outside to make you act. How many times did you say you'd start when you had time, when you felt inspired, when things were perfect by the night? But perfection never arrives, and time always slips away. Every moment you wait, you're handing over your power. You're letting the world decide when you're allowed to rise. And that kills your inner strength little by little. If you are not the one commanding yourself, then who will, starting today, stop chasing motivation? Become it. Build a version of yourself so strong that just thinking about it pulls you into action. Let the image of your future self wake you up in the morning. Let your inner voice be louder than the noise around you. When you become the voice, you don't need to speak much. Others will watch you in silence. They'll wonder how you stay so consistent. And the answer is something only you know. Because you stopped chasing inspiration. You built discipline into your way of life, into your belief system, into your mission. Rewrite your story through work. You want to change your life. Stop looking for comfort. Stop hoping someone will understand. Because no one out there owes you anything. No one is obligated to believe in the potential you carry. No one has time to sit and listen to all the pain you've endured. The world only hears the noise of action. Pain, sacrifice, silence, they mean nothing if you don't turn them into results. Work so hard that even pain stops and respects you. Be so silent that your silence becomes a roar. Stay persistent until even your enemies stand up and applaud. We all carry a story within us. Some are born into privilege, some start with nothing or worse. Some are lifted, some are crushed. You can't choose where you begin, but you can choose how you live and how your story ends. And that story isn't written in tears or complaints or excuses. It is rewritten in sweat, in labor, in every single day you keep going when no one's watching. Every time you choose action over whining, you're writing a new line in the script of your life. You don't need another motivational video. You don't need another quote to validate your worth. What you need is action. Sit down, do the work, repeat. That's it. No glitter, no applause, just commitment to the process and letting the results speak for themselves. Others may not believe in you at first, but they won't be able to deny you if you keep showing up. And when they see you're not just talking, but walking, they will fall silent. Because your story written through your actions will become undeniable. Work so hard that even the universe adjusts itself to recognize you. Work so hard that even God rewrites your destiny. Maybe that sounds impossible, but look at history. Great people didn't come from ease. They came from silence, from shadows, from places where no one believed in them. And precisely because no one believed, they worked until no one dared to doubt. That's how destiny changes. And that's how you can change yours too. Stop explaining. Stop seeking validation. Stop expecting someone to understand your grind. Let your results speak. Let every drop of sweat become a word in your life's new chapter. One day when people tell your story, they won't quote what you said. They'll quote what you did. The times you failed but didn't fall. The days you hurt but kept going. The nights you worked alone when no one saw. The mornings you rose early while others slept. These are the moments that scream louder than any speech. And when you're persistent enough to keep going, calm enough to not react, and committed enough to create results, you'll realize something. No one dares to underestimate you anymore. Not because you shouted louder, but because you showed up and showed them. And action will always be the language the world understands best. In the end, it's not the moments when the spotlight shines on you that define your destiny. It's the silent battles no one sees, the pain you endure without a single witness, the times you rise alone, again and again without applause. That's where greatness is forged, not in glory, but in grit. If you're still here, reading these final lines, chances are you're not someone who settles for mediocrity. You weren't born to copy someone else's life. You didn't come to this world just to exist. You came to leave a mark, to fight, to win. Not by beating others, but by conquering yourself. The lazy self, the weak self, the one that gives up too soon. That's the real enemy, and only you can defeat it. Remember, no one remembers how hard you tried. They only remember what you accomplished. People don't retell stories of those who tried. They retell the stories of those who finished. Effort matters, but results are the only language the world understands. You can cry, you can doubt, but after that, you must rise. Again, and again, until the world can no longer ignore you. The truth is, no one's going to knock on your door every morning and remind you to be disciplined. No one will show up at night to assure you that you're on the right path. Motivation fades, emotions betray. Only systems, discipline, and relentless action will stay with you. And if you truly want to rewrite your story, then you must be the one holding the pen, not life, not others, not fate. Work so hard that even God rewrites your script. Stay so silent that the world leans in just to hear you. Be so persistent that even your enemies start learning from you. Live a life so full that when you close your eyes for the last time, you can say, I lived with everything I had. I fought with everything I was. No regrets, no half measures. Everything you need isn't in some motivational video. It's not hidden in a premium course. It's not in someone else's hands. It's already within you, in every step you take, in every choice you make, in every time you say no to comfort and yes to growth. That's the foundation of greatness. If something in this story moved you even just a little, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who might be silently fighting their own battles. Maybe they need this spark, just like you once did. Hit the like button to support the work behind this podcast. Subscribe so you never miss a story that might change your life. And tap the notification bell because every episode of Kunzy Podcast English is crafted not just to inspire you, but to awaken the fire sleeping inside you. We're not just making podcasts. We're building a community of people who don't quit, who start again, who turn pain into power. If you're one of them, then Kunzy Podcast English is your home. And if there's only one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. The world doesn't reward dreamers. It rewards doers. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter how many times you failed. What matters is that you rise, you act, you persist, and you create results that speak louder than any excuse ever could. Be the one who rewrites your life through action. Let your results speak so loudly, no one can deny your presence. And if you feel this message deserves to be heard, don't let it stop with you. We'll see you in the next episode. Don't live as if you have forever. Live as if today is the last chance to change your life.